Hello and welcome to another video. So today's lineup, we have Pelipper and Lucario in the back, whether they're back or one in the front, it's typical core here. And I have my favorite Pokemon Swampert here. So I have 3 sets for you, not in a totally particular order here. Go Battle Day wasn't the best. I did go positive, went up like 100 points, but definitely win rate was no higher than 60% if I'm lucky. I'm pretty sure it was even less than that. But that doesn't mean we can't learn things from here, and Swampert's my fave, so I'm just here to have a fun time with Swampert in this video, so let's get right to it. Righty, we got Pelipper on the lead. I do choose to stay in here. Definitely Shadow Swampert has a better advantage if you decide to use shields, as 2 Hydro Cannons with Mud Shots along with double shielding can take out a Pelipper if memory serves, where with regular Swampert, you need 3 Hydro Cannons. So yeah, not the best matchup for Swampert here, but we're just gonna play it out. I will be bringing in Pelipper later unless I can counter down in 1 or 2 counters with Lucario here. I do decide to shield because I'm at the next Hydro Cannon. Let's see what they decide to do. Shield or no shield? I'm hoping shield, but they let it go. They get 3 counters in with the Lucario. I will bring in my Pelipper, and then I will shield this, respecting the Shadow Ball. And then, let's see. So, I do build up to the near double back. I do want to get shields out. And then if they shield another time, that tells me they are weak in the back to Pelipper. And that should have told me to try farming up a little bit more. But I, get a pup here. So that's going to it's going to cause a huge amount. Oh, rough. So, I just have to hope that my Pelipper is healthy enough because I'm not keeping track. And yeah, so I definitely will take 2 Hydro Cannons, but they got some farm down, and once you'll see that this game is over after this first Hydro Cannon. So yeah, I need to get to this Weather Ball, hope it takes it out, but this game's already over. As we know, if this was a Shadow Swampert, definitely would have won, but they live off of basically 1 HP in a dream, and that is a good game to my opponent. Very well played. Right, hopping into the next match. We have Registeel, so very positive lead for me. Let's see what they want to do. They bring in their Shadow Swampert, and then I bring in Pelipper. So you can see the 2 Hydro Cannons, you'll see if you haven't seen yet, it does damage onto Pelipper, despite Pelipper's pretty good defenses. So I let the first one go through, and then I think I try to farm down. And I use a shield here. I want to preserve some health. Excuse me. I do farm down the Swampert before they get to another Hydro Cannon. Then I have some 2 Weather Balls to throw at them, so maybe get to a 3rd Weather Ball here. Nope, I decided to bring out Swampert to bait out whatever they have in the back, because I got Lucario, which they don't know, even though I could probably assume, but they definitely did not want Swampert with their Registeel. So, just going to go for these Hydro Cannons. I will line my own Pelipper with their Pelipper, but Lucario is my win con, and that shield is for Lucario. I am not using that on Pelipper at all. Or Swampert. They go for the Hurricane, so bang, let's go. Nice Hurricane from my opponent. I go for a Weather Ball here to get them low or use a shield. And then, yeah, so I go for another Weather Ball. Hopefully they do shield. That would be ideal. And they do, so this is perfect. And they bring in Registeel. They swap out. I will shield this up. Do they go for Zap or Focus? They go for Zap, so I will go for a Pop to get my, to basically reverse the debuff. And I should be able to counter down before even a Focus Blast, which I do, and this is game over. I go for the Pop. Good game to my opponent. Very well played. So, yeah. Righty. Righty. Into the next match here. Ferrothorn, terrible lead. We're going to swap in a Pelipper right away. And then I do shield up the first move because they will build up to Thunder, and a Thunder will near, if not take me out. I don't think it actually takes it out because it's a non-stab Thunder. But I will go for a bait then. I'm hoping they shield, so this is a risky bait, as Weather Ball does nothing. But I get the shield, which is perfect. I do decide to risk it, and go see if they go for another Power, which they do. Let's go. And then I go for the Hurricane, which is amazing. I won't take it out, but they shield. This is beautiful. Alrighty then. So I do not throw the Weather Ball to farm down Lucario. They come back in with not back in with Wish Cash. There was really no catching there. But I do let the Mud Bomb go through. I don't think a Blizzard would have taken me out either. And I go for an Earthquake. This will get the Wish Guys extremely low, or just barely take it out. Gets extremely low. And they are one move away from being taken out. So they go for the Blizzard. Bang. But this is perfect. So this game is over basically because even though they have a Swampert, I can ramp up with Pup. Actually, no, wait. I digress. I remember this matchup now. I think there was a delayed CMP in Swampert 1, so I should have gone for the Shadow Ball, arguably. So, and I did not keep track of their energy. So this is a case of keep track of your energy, folks. As I just lost a matchup, I should have actually won potentially. So, good game to my opponent. Very well played. Even with an advantage, you can still lose if you don't keep track of things. Don't assume. Of course I did. So, look at me, not following my own advice in these videos. All right, they swap into Gyarados from the dream for my dream lead of Lucario. I will chip this with Hydro Cannon, and then I will farm down with Pelipper. I will shield up the potential crunch here as Gyarados has a lot of attack power, even in Great League. And then they get to another move, and I'm like, I believe this is an Aqua Tail. I risk it, and it's an Aqua Tail, so this is perfect. Now, they could bring in their third Mon thing because they'll know I'll throw a Weather Ball most likely. And I'm able to hold off just a second, and I get the Hurricane off. Let's go. So this is still not over. They are up a shield. And I don't know what happened there. Visual glitch maybe. But I come bring in Lucario. They swap. I swap. So I can just go for these Hydro Cannons. But Lucario is definitely going to be my win con, as they need an Overheat to take me out. Rock Tomb, or even I don't even think Stone Edge would. Either way, I need the shield for Lucario. So not shielding, and if they overheat, their attack will be lowered. Righty, and then alrighty, I will shield this up. And I will farm down, and this game is basically over, and they know it, and they top left. So good game to my opponent. Very well played. Righty, hopping into the next one, we got Jelly. So definitely saw plenty of Jellies, and I was running Swampert lead. It is just a very popular pick, because though it's still a bit of a little luck, hoping you don't get bad lead with a Registeel on the opposing side if you're the Jelly. So going for Earthquake here, either get damage or get a shield, and they let it go. So I can go for Hydro Cannons as Bubble Beams won't take me out, so I will outpace to the Shadow Ball. I do decide to swap out to Peli to bring out most likely something I can counter easily back here. Whoops, paused by accident. We'll go for these Weather Balls here, but Lucario or Swampert can easily take care of the Registeel later on. Alrighty. Alright, we're going to bring Lucario in. We farm down, which is great. They bring in Scavalier, so arguably should have gone for Shadow Ball here, because I definitely was not at the Shadow Ball, I'm pretty sure. And then I do another Pump, because at this point I just need to ramp up my attack here. So, and I do try to swap, and I do decide to shield. It's a Drill Run, so at least I shield a Drill Run versus a Jelly. And they go for the Shadow Ball, and I have to Mud Shot. I get to the Hurricane. I think they have a shield left. They don't. And it's going to be a simultaneous KO. So good game to my opponent. Very well played there. Ay. So we went a tie there. Right, here's the other two sets here. Swampert versus Mawile. Very positive lead. I was not paying attention. We all know what this team is if you've seen the Zionic or Throw Tactical video in the last couple of days, especially for Go Battle Days. So, yeah, this is a terrible swap on my part. So, this game's already a loss because we all know what's going to happen. Lucario is just too glassy, even for those Razor, like even with the fast-moving Razor Leaf. Because Fire Fang is going to destroy Lucario, so even if I get to the Shadow Ball in time, so which I do, but like, look, I'm literally in the red already, so it's too late. It's a game over. So, and as you can see, I just top left because I'm just like, oh, lovely. This is what happens when you don't pay attention to who you swap in. Know where your Pokemon are on that side part of the screen. All right, Ludicolo, terrible lead. We're going to swap into Pelipper right away. It is actually a good matchup for Ludicolo still because it can just go fast. It can double shield if it needs to. But that, honestly, it only has to shield once at most just because most likely people are going to try to bait, and they know this is a weather ball. They don't have to shield a thing. I do get it low, though, so that's good. But, I mean, honestly, it might be better to go for the Hurricane now, like when it's, yeah. Oh, and they swap in the Sharpedo, so I think that was a mistake on their opponent's part. Granted, they did not know I had Lucario in the back, so it looks like I bet they were running, the same team, just a different arrangement. And obviously, Ludicolo was just low enough where, yeah, it's just the Razor Leash wouldn't help enough for with the Fire Fang. So Berserker in this next match. Body Slam on this Gastrodon with Pelipper is the only thing that'll hit neutral, I believe, unless there's an Ice Beam that I don't know about. I'm not even sure if Gastrodon learns it in Pokemon Go, so... Gonna go for the Hurricane here, and do they shield, do they not? They don't shield, so, alrighty then. We're gonna let this next Body Slam go through, and farm down. I should be able to get to a Weather Ball here, and I think they'll have 4 Shadow Claws, the Berserker. Alrighty, bringing back in the Swampert, I believe. I do shield. I want to preserve South on the Swampert. And then they bring in a Ferrothorn, and it's game over. They know it. I can just pup all day. So, good game to my opponent. Very well played. I mean, look here. A lot of RPS can happen in this cup, unfortunately. You got Lucario against Double Steel. It's, practically over, because I'm trying to think of something that takes... Other than a Scavalier and Fortress... everything else that's steel, I believe, takes super effective damage from counter. So unless you got a Scavalier, it's almost hard counter. It's practically hard counter city. Right, next matchup we have Jelly versus the Swampert. I will go for the Earthquake. They do shield. I will let this most likely a Shadow Ball go through. And get to another Earthquake, so that's good. So I will cause some big damage and hopefully get this low, or get both shields. I get both shields. Either way is really good, because I definitely don't want this Jelly on my Lucario with only 1 shield left. Granted, I have to hope now that, Lucario can handle the back. If it's in a Scavalier, probably not. Right, they go for a Bubble Beam. I will go for a Hurricane. Then I will swap immediately to my Lucario, regardless whether I take the Jellicent or not. And it's Lucario. And I do get to this pop before they do, so that's good. And what do they have in the back? That's the question. If it's a Scab, I'm done. And it's a Registeel, so thankfully I can go for the Shadow Ball. And that's a good game to my opponent. Very well played. Pardon. Right, we're going to head into the next game here shortly. Right, we got Registeel here, so they do reach the Focus Blast 1 turn before my Earthquake. So there's a case to be shielding here. They go for Jelly, swap into Jelly, I should say. I go for the Earthquake. I definitely need to get some chip damage on here. And I will go for the Hydro Cannon, since they are low enough and they do shield. I do try to go for another Hydro Cannon, but so they do farm down, not ideal, but it's kind of okay at the same time because I need to be able to swap in this Lucario on their Registeel, and hopefully their switch clock still has a few seconds left before they can swap again. They go for their Shadow Ball, so this is already not great at all, as it is me against the world with Lucario. I do use a shield. Bubble Beam will still chunk Lucario. I do bring in the Quagsire. I go for Shadow Ball even though I'm debuffed. Arguably, but I needed a Shadow Ball either way, so I'm going for a pup now. I will be shielding what could likely very well be a Stone Edge, but I'm already so low as it is that it's this is already bad, and they still have a shield, so this is looking like a GG's already, unless I can land a Shadow Ball on the Registeel and not land a move. This was definitely a mistake. My win con, in addition to landing a Shadow Ball, was definitely building up to the Shadow Ball and successfully baiting. Now, granted, I was debuffs, or not debuffed anymore, but not buffed, so they still could have very likely no-shielded it, And honestly, I think that was probably the play anyway. They might have actually survived the Shadow Ball, so most likely still would have been a loss. But yeah. Whoops. Ooh, looks like the glitch is happening here. So that was a 3-2 set there. Just going to go ahead and fast forward. Right, there we go. So yeah, again, that matchup probably still lost, depending on how much that Shadow Ball would have done, but definitely needed to bait. Otherwise, because obviously if they had no shield, it would have been lost. If they shielded, I could have gotten to the Shadow Ball in time. So I might have actually won that. Alright, against the Jelly. Alright, here we go. Earthquake time. So yeah, when you need a bait, you definitely need to build up. If your win con is dependent upon them calling, not calling the bait, you need to build up to that hard-hitting move. Obviously, whether you bait or not is your choice. Right, they will most likely Shadow Ball me. I hopefully can get to another Earthquake, which I do. Last second. And I get, woo, and then I'll swap into Pelipper right away. They will likely go for a Shadow Ball, and I don't want to expend my last shield at this time. And then I don't know why I wasn't throwing the Weather Ball. I don't know why I didn't throw the Weather Ball here. I really don't know why. And then they bring in a Scavalier. I will go for the double Weather Ball here. Trying to get some shields out of them. Arguably, maybe should have gone for the Hurricane. They do farm me down. Not ideal. I think I have to catch. I think, though, remembering this match, I was one off, though, and unfortunately I have to expend a shield, even if it's Acid Spray, which, that bites. And it's Lucario, so that's a top left for me. So, good game to my opponent. Very well played. Right, hopping into the next one, we have Mawile. So, great lead. Let's see if I mess up again. I don't, thank goodness, because we know exactly what team this is. So this is Hard Counter City. I should be able to get to a Shadow Ball here. I did face this a few times, actually, which is not surprising. I wasn't using it, but you fly through these battles very quickly more often than not. So it's like Go Battle Day is like one of the few times where it's okay to like go hardcore, like double Razor Leaf or Charm, you know, fast move beatdown type teams, because like you just want to get through those battles quickly if you can. Right, going for another Weather Ball. I mean, again, this is pretty much an RPS situation, as I can get this Ludicolo low, and I can Mudshot down. Swampert, Grass, counter, confirmed, not really. I didn't boom it with a move like I did Wish Cash with Blizzard in a video from a while back. Alright, good game to my opponent. We're going to head into the next one here. Righty, Swampert Mirror. So, neither a Shadow. So pure mirror. I do decide to go for the Earthquake. They do sneak a Mudshot in, which is how the game should work. And do they shield? They do. So I'm going to no shield here. So I can come in with Pelipper. But I should have tried to get the Swampert lower for sure. So do I shield? Yeah, I don't shield. So yeah, definitely I'm learning now I need to get the Swampert lower because, you know, it really depends on what they have in the back. They do bring in Pelipper. And I go for the Hurricane because they only want shield left. I'm thinking they're less likely to shield. It's totally fine. But there is a case to be made here that since they do need to probably preserve some health here, that I should have gone for Weather Ball bait and maybe even let them get the first move off first so I can shield. Because now they can go straight Weather Ball because that was a Hurricane they landed earlier. So yeah, sometimes it's not necessarily a wrong decision, especially since you don't know what's in the back. It's just like, do you want to preserve health? Do you not? Do you want to bait, take a risk? Do you not? And then what do they bring in? It is a... it's a Righty Shield, but I am down. I have no shields. I needed a shield for the Swampert, and to farm up if at all possible. But even then, I'm pretty sure this was a good game. I needed 2 shields for that Lucario. So, good game to my opponent. Very well played here. Right, next match, we got a Scavalier. It's a pretty neutral, positive lead for us here. So, alright, Ludicolo, we're going to bring in the Pelipper. Kind of questionable. But even then, the Razor Leaf still kind of chunk eventually on the Lucario, and you need to expend a shield. So it's kind of like, which one do I want to lose? Shield advantage or... yeah, because I don't have the alignment now. And I didn't wait my switch clock as long as I should have, so this is a mistake on my part. So yeah, I can already I remember this match. I believe this is a hard loss here because of my mistake of trying to beat it with the Hydro Cannon. Because now I got Lucario, even though it's 2 shielded, it's an Escavalier. Like, I should, like, I knew that, but my brain wasn't registering, so, and they bring in a Lantern, so yeah, this is game over. Yeah, like, I just don't have the health to get to 2 Shadow Balls, or like a Shadow Ball pup or whatever, so... Good game to my opponent. Very well played. We got one more match here, I believe. Right, versus Jelly. So, not the most favorable, but we're going to play it out here. Just going to go straight for those Earthquakes. Righty. They do shield, which is not surprising. They go for the Bubble Beam. I will let that go. Alright, I'm going to go for the Hurricane here. Sorry, had to pause for a second to check something. Let's get back to it. Alright, we're just going to go through the Hurricane motion again here. And bang, let's go. Okay, Lucario versus Escap. So, I should have built up to the Shadow Ball here. Obviously, if they shield, it's basically game over. Yeah. Oh, hi there, Felrose. Whoops, forgot to turn off my notifications. And I let it go through because it was most likely an acid spray anyway. So I was just like, lovely. And this game's over, but I'm going to try to find it out. Like, maybe they try to bait with the Focus Blast. Who knows? You know, I'm going to need like 4 or 5 Weather Balls here, though. It's totally wonderful. 1. Yeah, I totally lost track, so... Yep, I'm going to shield it to Zap Can, which is definitely the smarter play, as these Weather Balls won't be chunking as much as I think. No debuff to Weather Balls might have actually taken out the Registeel because they have a shield, so they will use it. And we see MP tie basically for the next one. So that is a good game to my opponent. Very well played here. So overall, 3-2, 2-2-1. And then this was a 1-4 set. So 3-2. So like 6. Yeah, 6-8-1. So not the best, but I did have fun running Swampert here. So thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And I hope to see you in the next one. Ciao!